certainly MPs don't either.
Yes, Douglas Ross MP.
Oh, you've
That's
got to give
not
it.
one for the collection.
Just cut it in a style that will be universally popular.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I used to think that Monolith was a fictional character, but it turns out it's actually the First Minister of Scotland.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to season 2, episode 1 of the I Write Show. We held it back a little bit there. I think you'll notice we thought there was a rumor going around that the whole of the Tory government had literally left for Stornoway because they're so embarrassed. And then they discovered that there's no ferries. So we thought we'll just start the show without them. It's been quite a week, hasn't it? You know, especially today. I think I put on another one, Bites the Dust, and I was literally jumping up and down on my bed, doing somersaults, going, the witch is dead, but she's not dead, you know. But anyway, so is she going to stay? Is she going to go? You know, she's trying to hang on to the last little minutes, but I think her expiry date's over. And yeah, we're wondering about all sorts of things. But Sean, what's your comments?
Yeah, I wasn't jumping up and down and somersaulting on my bed, or anybody else's bed for that matter, because I'm quite kind of cynical about it. There'll be another nugget behind her. There's no shortage of them, and my God, we thought Johnson was the scrapings in the barrel. Then we get this. What is left? Don't
even ask that question because it's always going to be worse. You know, that's part of our show.
I'm going to, yeah, it's funny, it's hilarious. I'm not going to celebrate that she's away because there'll be another one, but I will celebrate that it's happening, that it's a stupid, crazy soap opera that the whole world is laughing at, because that can only be good for our cause. It can only help us get votes. And really, I mean, if anybody was to come out the woodwork now, a Tory in Scotland, you would, right, honestly, man, what are you thinking about? So it can only be good for us. So long may it continue. Let this circus go on. We're knackered anyway. We're gubbed. The electricity and gas bills are up. The food prices are rising every week. So
okay, Sean, don't lower the tone of the room.
We might as well have something to laugh at.
Okay, don't lower the tone of the room. Like, let's keep positive. Okay, Graham, what's your take on what's happening this week?
Not a lot. Just as long as Jacob Rees-Mogg's standing, then I'll be happy. That'll be fun.
No, that's the last person who wants.
Jen, you were telling me not to be negative there, and there's Evelyn Hume on the comments just saying that we might get Boris Johnson back.
I know. It's just like from the fire into the frying pan, you know, or whatever we say. Evelyn. Okay, so let's go on to round one. Round one, do you want to go for it and let everyone discover what round one is?
You need to tell them what it is, Jim.
No, just put it on, you know, and then I'll go for it. So, round one is door of the week, and I'm going to give it to Sean to choose the door number. Go for it, Sean.
This is scary, man. It's like the world's most scary advent calendar, man. If there's going to be is there a Tory behind every door? It's week one. Go for door number one.
It's coming to Halloween, and be careful. You never know what you might get. Huh?
Door number one.
Would you rather have as Prime Minister? Well, that's not a difficult question. I mean, if the question to me is, would I prefer a Labour government over a Tory government? I detest the Tories and everything they stand for, so it's not difficult to answer that question.
Oh, I love it. That was like my best day. Like, literally detest. I made like a meme and I put it out. I also detest the Tories. What do you think, Graham?
Yeah, well, I think Ali, yeah, I kind of get where they're coming from. You know, I think it was, I was blown away by somebody coming out with that kind of language in politics. I mean, I can see why the Tories are absolutely up in arms about that. And politicians speaking honestly. I mean, the Tories, the Tories have nowhere to go if that comes into politics. You know, 88% of all their Facebook ads either contain lies or misleading information, so they would have nothing to put out on Facebook. They would have no tweets if they had to speak honestly. None of them would be tweeting, you know. So I can kind of see why they're a wee bit outraged, because if honesty is going to creep into politics, then I think the Tory party is going to be in an even worse position than they're in at the moment.
I'd be happy if they weren't on Twitter, to be honest. But anyway, Sean, what do you think?
I suppose that would explain why they were so outraged, because they don't want this honesty thing coming in. I kind of get that. A bit of kind of corkscrew, sleek it thinking, Graham, but I see where you're coming from, man. I think it was hilarious. The outrage was absolutely hilarious from people who had like voted for Johnston, supported Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, guys like that, because they speak their mind, they tell you like it is. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they're getting offended by a wee word like hatred. And they decided it was this was a symptom of modern politics getting all personalised, and we should get back to the old honourable days of discourse and debate. And it put me immediately in mind of the Nye Bevan quote. So this is like 80 years ago or something like that.
I didn't know you were that old, Sean. You know, you look good for your age.
Did history at school, man. I did history at school. Nye Bevan, who said that no amount of cajolery could persuade him that these guys were anything less than self-serving, greedy, and would solve his burning hatred for them. He had a burning. Nicola just detested them, but Nye had a burning hatred for them. And then he finished off his wee quote, because they'd class in the old days, those old statesmen, you know. He finished off his quote by saying they were lower than vermin. Yeah, this is one of the elder, respected diplomats from this glorious halcyon bygone age, man. So it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing.
I think that's pure brilliant. You know, I just
always been detestable, man.
She said like what majority of people, you know, is thinking. So according to the Tories, that's 10% of us or 8%, but the majority of us feel that way, and a lot of people in England as well, you know, and all around the world, you know.
And I'm not sure if she's maybe started something, because I noticed the Welsh First Minister a couple of days ago, who's no Plaid Cymru, he's Labour, but by God, he was getting tore into his Tory counterpart down there, and it was real. You could see the disgust on his face, saying, "How dare you, when all this is going on down the road, your boss is doing at Westminster doing this." I think she's maybe started a wee trend where other politicians are going, you know, right enough.
We've got a comment here, so I just want to put it on the screen. Evelyn says, if you always tell the truth, you have nothing to remember. I detest the Tories. So yeah, they're making it up as they go along. That's why they can't remember, because they're like, no, I didn't do that. Yes, I did. Yeah. You know, it's like, I'm not leaving. I'm going to be here forever. And the next day they are like resigning. So it's just this, like, they're just a big comedy show. Actually, you can't take them seriously, except they cause great harm.
There was no brown envelope. No, they just ate their whole careers, man. And it's bred into them. And a lot of them are from generations of that. That's how they got their landed titles and their millions in the first place, was because their forebears done it. So it's literally in their DNA.
Somebody else has got a comment here. Let's just have a quick look at it. Hashberry Stumble says the 1922 committee has put a threshold of 100 nominations from Tory MPs before they get in the race. So I don't know if this is the lettuce race, huh? I don't know what race they're talking about. So let's.
There was
if you probably put a lettuce up there, it would probably get 100 nominations right enough, wouldn't it? The one that got me was, though, they were going on about Nicola Sturgeon, you know, and but for years they've been going on about all these woke lefties that you can't say anything or they'll get offended, and then as soon as somebody says, you know, that something about the Tories, suddenly they all become woke. You know, these woke righties. Doesn't it sound right? Woke righties, woke right? I don't know. But anyway, they seem to, suddenly they all get offended.
Here's another comment. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Well, I just clocked Scott's comment there, man.
I haven't seen it. Time we can read that out.
That needs no explanation. I literally said the no movement should be called the
It's
bowel
not
movement.
the poet in me now is looking at that, and I'm wanting to follow the full analogy all the way down the road about how did these bowel movements compare to Liz? Were they?
No, we're not going back to talking about.
Did they have more integrity? I love it, Scott. Cheers, man.
Well done.
Image, but thank you.
When you get to the end of the pipe, does the next candidate fall out?
So Colin McDonald says, I'm glad the show is back and we're so happy to have you here, Colin. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Glad to see you, Colin. Glad to hear from you, my man.
Okay.
The Nicola thing, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. There was certain people, mostly from our side, admittedly, slating her a couple of weeks ago because she was being false or she was being a royalist. She went down to the Queen's funeral and she said these diplomatic, statesman-like things and did the proper thing. And she gets slagged off for being a royal lover or tugging the forelock or whatever. So now she's went the other way and she gets slated for that as well. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's when you go make that decision to go in the public eye. You know that you're going to be under criticism for everything, and you just have to have enough self-confidence to know what you're doing. And you know, she's a strong woman. You know, I think she's got more balls than all of the Tories put together. So I think we should go on to round 2, which is Thatcher's bar. So basically, Thatcher's bar is a level, with Thatcher being the worst. And we're going to bring up somebody now and choose whether they are worse or better than Thatcher. So let's go for it, guys.
Do I get to choose, Jim?
Yep, you can choose.
Okay, I'm going to choose this guy.
Talk us through your dance routine if it comes to a dance-off for second place.
Well, I've made it very clear, you know, I am a big fan of Atomic Kitten Hole Again. Not only can I sing the lyrics without the computer screen and I don't need the words to it, you know, I've made up my own actions to it, and it just makes the whole performance. So, if you see me walking down the street, staring at the sky, dragging my 2 feet, you just pass me by, it still makes me cry. But Colin, you can make me whole again.
No, that's not right. I'm sorry, that's not right. Oh my God. Okay. Who's making the first comment? The person who chose the clip or Sean? Let's toss a coin. I'll say Graham can make the first choice.
All right, okay. Yeah, this freaks me out in a lot of different levels. This really, you know, it's the fact that he starts off by saying, you know, and I've learned all the words. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knows the words. I don't need the computer to remind me of them. And Colin, I've got my own dance moves made up. Now, you know, the thing, it kind of freaks me out, and I'm thinking, do you know, you go down to the pub with your pals, and Dougie Ross comes with you, and you're, you know, doing the karaoke, and what you going up to do, Rab? I'm going to go up and do a wee bit of AC/DC.
I keep my back to the wall.
Yeah, what are you doing, Tom? I'm going up to get a wee bit of reggae going there. I'm going to do a wee bit of Bob Marley. Douglas, what about you? Oh, can I do Atomic Kitten, boys? I've got a few new dance moves to show you. And it's the fact that he actually, at some point, he's been standing in front of the mirror, getting all the, you know, that wee bit with the face and that, you know. Well, he's been working all these moves out and thinking they're really clever. And then it's a wee look at the end. Colin, you can make me whole again. And then he gives him the wee, was that good? You know, the wee look. Yeah, but I tell you what, but he needs to sack his singing teacher because she's not actually taught him that talking and singing are actually different skills.
No, I think it was Colin. I think Colin taught him to sing and he didn't do a good job. Yeah, I agree. He didn't sing that at all.
Right, so Colin's not only made him whole again, but he's actually taught him how to sing.
He's the singing, dancing teacher.
Okay,
What do you think, Sean?
Just on the singing, but far be it from me to defend Douglas Ross. He's a lot of things. He's an awful lot of things, but the singing stuff, I think actually it was deliberate talking, just because it was just a lot more sultry and sensual that way. I think it was.
Oh, you thought it was sultry and sensual? Oh,
I'll take your word for that, Sean.
Remember that old song, Japan, and it was just kind of breathlessly spoken. I think Ross knows what he's doing. The tease, he knows what he's doing, man.
Well, you think you make me whole again, Colin? I'll do Shitem the next time.
Oh no! Like,
do you know what? If he's learned all the moves to a pop song, it should be on TikTok. That's what people do. They learn the moves to a dance.
I know you should actually.
So let's see it on TikTok, Douglas, man.
But I want to know, there's that song Living Next Door to Alice, and then they've got Who the is Alice, and I want to know who the is Colin.
Yeah, Douglas, obviously. But you know what I'm thinking here? I'm thinking Nicola Sturgeon has missed the opportunity of the century. I mean, she should be getting those lines into every first minister's questions. Like what about all these rats running down the street, Nicola? Colin, walk on by.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Do you know what I mean? And everybody behind her on the benches, when she makes a line, she'd all give it his wee face bit. And I think missing a huge chance there, man. You could get staring at the sky. What else have we got? Yeah, Douglas, you can make me whole again. Or we'll make it whole again, Yeah.
Staring at the sky, barking at the moon.
Howling.
On that subject, Linda Ross has just asked, who is he? I think that's Linda maybe just setting out a stall there and letting everybody know that he's no relation to her.
Well, I thought she was talking about Graham.
I heard it was Nicola's cousin actually, but there you go, or Linda's cousin.
Linda's cousin.
You were talking about the singing, man. I was disappointed because I didn't hear him say the Atomic Kitten thing. I wasn't listening. And then I saw the words coming up on the screen, and it was, if you see me walking down the street and I should cry. I was hearing the Stranglers, Burt Bacharach number. I'm like, oh, go on yourself, Ross. You might be you've got good taste in music, my man. And then he comes out with that, man. So if I had one shred of respect for the boy, it's out the window now, man. It's totally.
I tell you what, though, right? I mean, that's right up Pete Scally Street, innit? He's got to do that song now and change the world.
Exactly.
He's got to do that.
And then merge into that song that goes, who the is Colin?
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? He's got to do that whole again song now and change the words so that it's Douglas Ross.
Maybe we'll put that out there to Big Scally.
Yeah.
I know if he's not here, he'll probably catch up. If he learns a song, Graham and I, and Jen, if you're in the vicinity,
you'll make him feel whole again.
We'll learn the choreography, and we'll do it.
We'll do the dance moves.
Okay.
I'm up for that.
Nuclear Badger or something we'll call ourselves, man.
Well, I think Scott's comment says that all he says, Dougie Ross is slightly less popular than a fart in a lift. So I think that's a good comment. Thank you, Scott, for making us laugh. We've got another comment
from the nether regions.
Yeah, so somebody said Pete Skelly.
The actual point of this round, Jem, when you say worse than Thatcher or better than Thatcher, do you mean is a bigger Tory than Thatcher or a better person than Thatcher?
I think it's just like worse in all respects.
Big Scott was talking about his last Tory. His last Tory was a better person than Thatcher. How are we measuring this?
I think it's whether you hate them more than Thatcher, I would have thought, or whether you hate them less than Thatcher.
Yeah, besides, Tories don't normally have a personality. I think maybe Douglas Ross with that little thing is just literally the first person who signed the slightest hint of a personality. And maybe that's only due to Colin.
Yeah. Did you mean to say personality disorder, Jen? Personality?
Anyway, somebody's tagged Pete Skelly in there, so that's good. And
right. I don't think he's worse than Thatcher. I couldn't hate him more than Thatcher. I would feel guilty. There's a bit I want with the boy. There's a wee bit I want with him. He's talking about being whole again. He'll never be whole because there's a wee screw loose. There's a couple of cards off the full deck there. So I couldn't hate him as much as Thatcher. I'd feel bad.
Okay, so he's not as bad as Thatcher. What do you say, Graham?
Well, I would have thought it was quite a tight contest until I heard them singing that song, and I think I'm a bit of a fan now, because I can't wait for his next single. Personally, So I'm going to put on Lauren Thatcher and just hope he doesn't let me down with his next single. What could that be? Maybe somebody in the comments could tell us what would be a good song for Douglas Ross to release next.
Yeah. Well,
it could be you spin me right round, baby, right round, the way the Tories are U-turning, eh?
I'm going to book. Okay, can we go on to round 3?
I've got an alien Scandinavian there. I'm assuming he's an alien Scandinavian. Lars from Mars on the comments.
Okay, let's see what he says.
He kind of put that into context there. He says Thatcher tore the heart out of a nation, sacked everybody and gave the Wayne's milk and gave us poll tax. Or Ross makes an arse himself every day and wants to be an atomic kitten.
Oh, okay, that one.
He's kind of gave us a perspective there, Lars. Aye.
Oh dear.
Lars, you made us whole again.
Yeah, well, maybe his new name is Atomic Kitten, Yeah. So, shall we go on to the next round?
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
Spies. Spies in a camp. Spies in every camp. It's always been the way. Spies, shills, agents, agent provocateurs, double agents. And we have ours, out there in a field. Some undercover, some hiding in plain sight. Didn't hear us from me, but some of ours have infiltrated the very rotten, corrupt heart of the opposition. And they're doing a good job.
Oh, that was pure brilliant. That was an excellent intro into our double agents. So basically, we are talking about somebody who's playing for the Yes movement, who's a positive, lovely movement of friendly people, and someone who's also pretending to play for the No movement, which I could call the Bow movement. So it could be either way, I suppose. It's just these double agents. So, Sean, do you want to choose your double agents?
That guy that was talking, is that a new James Bond or something? Who's that?
I think that's Colin.
That Daniel Craig guy.
To be honest with you, I can't reveal his identity, but I think he sings a song. He's in the band Atomic Kitten or something. So,
well, do you know that is the mark of a true agent, where he could get away with being in an all-girl pop band, or he could get away with being a spy. So yeah, man. And on that subject, double agents, aye. There's certain ones we've got in the Yes movement, ostensibly working for the opposition, but actually doing our work on the quiet, and they'll reveal themselves when the time is right.
Shall we have a clip then and see who it is?
Are you going to expose one of them? Are you going to out one of them, Jem?
No, I think you are.
Are you in talks with Labour about stopping the plans for fracking, Laura?
Well, no, I'm not. And it's not something that's going to happen in my constituency. But I understand that there are environmental concerns about it. And I understand also that it won't happen, as you just said, without local consent. And I don't think it's unreasonable when we are looking with a greater urgency than we ever had before, energy resilience and our own supply, that we should at least explore whether or not there is more potential in shale gas. But I know that the communities who it does affect feel very passionately against it. And I wouldn't be able to support a policy that imposed it on an area where that view is held, because, you know, and I think your next question might be, well, where is it going to happen?
It's not going to happen then, is it?
Well, look, it's probably not going to happen in densely populated communities, but I don't know whether there are parts of sort of the northern reaches of Scotland where there would be appropriate sites. And I wouldn't discourage it if there were.
No, I mean, should it?
Well, I don't know if there are parts in the northern reaches of Scotland. Well, they can just frack off as far as I'm concerned. There you go, Sean. You take it from me because I won't be polite.
as if we were under no illusions as to how we were regarded in this partnership of equal nations.
Then why do we want independence, you know?
Scottish votes don't matter. But she said, what was the phrase? There are communities that are passionately against it. And that's okay if those communities are in their constituencies, but if those communities are in Scotland, oh shit.
She's like, like the far reaches of Scotland.
yeah. I mean, we were like, Scotland was against the Tories, we got them. We were against nuclear weapons, we got them. We were against the poll tax early, we got it. But our people have kind of identified that there are small pockets, there are enclaves of Tory and Unionist supporters that need to be sorted out, and there's a lot of them in the Highlands and in Aberdeenshire, Douglas Ross being a case in point. They're still voting for Tories, so we need to work on them. So yeah, let her go up and do that on their doorstep, because a lot of them are kind of home counties Tories from her part of the world that have moved up to the north of Scotland and bought big chunks of land.
Well, let's give Graham a chance.
So, yeah.
And let him give his opinion and then come back to you if you don't mind. Graham?
Well, I don't think she's a double agent. I don't think she's working for us. I think she's playing a wee blinder here for them, you know, because up here everybody's against fracking, right? Or these woke people, you know. I mean, they've not looked at... I think the Tories have they've figured out the other side of this, because we're all struggling here to pay our bills, you know, to heat our homes, to pay for it. You know, a lot of us are going to go without electricity and food. And if you think about it, if they're doing a wee bit of fracking under your house, right underneath, the methane gets into the water. Now, there are advantages to that, right? Because you can't afford to boil the kettle. Right, you go like that, you want a wee cup of tea, Mary? No, don't put that kettle on. No, you're all right. Turn the water on, light the water, tea bag in the cup, instant cup of tea. No cost you a penny. Let's get a wee bit of cold in the house, Wally, and I'll put the heating on, turn the tap on, light the methane, instant central heating. So everybody's going to be going for this, I think, you know. So I think maybe they're working a wee flanker on us here, getting us all to hate the fracking and getting all us yes people to come up here and say, no fracking in Scotland, and then they're going to hit us with the advantages. You can't heat your home. Here
maybe we should say we do want it, and then they won't give it to us, you know.
Aye, that's true. I
just worry about the whiskey, you know. Whiskey's made in Scotland, and it's all this beautiful water that we have. And, you know, one thing having shooters that are on fire, but, like, I don't think it's very good for whiskey.
But they just call it fire.
The whiskey will be like Zambuca now. Folk will be saying whiskey and fire like Zambuca. Or like Lars from Mars and the other fella lighting their farts and stuff like that, because I've been keeping score. I've been keeping score here on the comments. And Lars from Mars and Scott the Very Man, they've made a couple of wee defecatory jokes about, and all good jokes as well. Not just language for the sake, you know. They make wee funny jokes and stuff about jobbies and things like that. But so far it's 3-2 to Lars. Scott started off quite well, but Lars has overtook him in the jobby joke stakes. So keep them coming, guys.
Yeah, keep the comments coming. So, okay, that was it. You know, double agent. You think she's a double agent. So let's just rehash why she's a double agent. You think she's doing a good job of literally...
Yeah. We have bigger agents, higher profile agents with a bigger brief and more responsibility and they'll be made clear in the future. But for now, she's one of our better sleepers, and she's doing a good job, and she'll continue to plug away and do a good job. Yeah.
Okay, shall we go on to something totally different? And it's something that's not connected to anything else, and it's for a laugh. We all think laughter is the best medicine. So I just want to say that we're probably going to play out with this unless we want to go on to something else, guys. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
What about some of the comments? Is there any of the comments we need to... Is there any need barred or invited back? Folk that are looking at the comments, by all means, give us some suggestions for next week. Would you want to look at next week? Do you want us to take pot shots at somebody else, cheap shots at somebody? We'll do it. Any feedback, let us know. But thanks to all the folk that tuned in. Melanie says she took 40 minutes to find us online. Thanks for your perseverance, Melanie.
We were just waiting because we thought all the Tories had gone to Stonaway.
James Lindsay said, how far north is the fracking going to happen? Darlington?
Oh dear.
Well played, James. Aye. So
James needs to come on the show. That's been the best joke all night.
Yeah. Well done, James. Let's comment of the week.
Generally, I think we'll need to up our game, Graham, if we're going to find somebody that's worse than Thatcher, because even 40 years after, and all the bampots we've had, it seems to be the viewing publics seem to hold her in the lowest esteem possible. So we'll really need to dig deep to find a worse Tory than Thatcher. But well,
maybe they'll be able to give us a few suggestions that we can look at over the next few weeks anyway. Yeah. So if there's any, stick them in the comments. Please. And we'll have a look at them.
And we've not had any insults yet. Colin McDonald, I thought, was calling me a rodent or vermin. Like
no, he's not.
But no, he was referring to the Stranglers album that Burt Bacharach song was on.
By the way, you are talking about bampots. You know, there's a song, it's one of the Scottish folk singers sings it, and it goes to the tune of La Bamba, and they claim it's the original one, but it's another wee bampots. It's a really good tune. We should maybe have a look at a small segment of it next week. It's really funny.
Or me and Graham can learn it for a Christmas party.
I'm not going to sing it, you know.
No, you're just paying for the Christmas party, Jem. I don't know if you did you not get the memo?
Oh, we've got budget cuts this year. We are going to the far reaches of Scotland, you know.
And as if by magic, we must have said his name 3 times because Pete Scally appeared.
Did he?
Oh, Pete Scally!
Aye.
No. He's got to catch up on you got to catch up on this episode because we were requesting you to do a song, you know, and you've got to go find out what it's about. We're not going to give you any hints whatsoever, Pete.
Aye, make sure he watches the full episode, Jem. That's good. Don't give him any cues.
Pete can make you whole again.
And Linda Ross, we always talk about double agents and skullduggery and stuff like that. Linda Ross, I don't know if she was meaning we need to give Alistair Jack some attention on the programme by having a wee laugh at him, or needs knocked off his perch. I don't know where Linda was going with that, but Linda thinks
whatever she's
Alistair
talking
Jack
about,
needs
it's
some
probably
attention.
a good idea.
Right, we could have a wee look at him right enough. He could be a double agent when you think about it. Anyway, right.
As long as he's a double agent, not a double adapter. So let's just say thank you to everybody for watching, loving the comments, and I hope you're all going to be back next week. We'll be starting at 7:00, and we hope to see you all there. And we're going to play out with something completely different. I'm going to leave that to Graham.
Yeah, here's the best joke I've seen all week.
I was in a town before called Langan Village, it's called. And basically there was a young lad and he looked awful similar to me. I thought I was fighting in a mirror, right? Come outside the nightclub, I was like, do I know you from somewhere? And he goes, do I know you? Do you know? And he had a Celtic jersey on, but he had the green and the yellow one, right? And I was about to throw a punch. And then he looked at me in the eyes and I go, he goes, am I your father? I said to him, and he goes to me, am I your son? And we just hugged it out. Turns out that no relation at all, and I just headbutted him and he got taken away.
Okay, that's all of us saying goodbye. Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye now.